Are you an encourager or a discourager? Recently on Twitter, I saw a tweet from a sports reporter who was doing a recap of the LSU-Alabama game that was recently played, and I think he was recording it to be posted, and during the recording, it showed him kind of mess up and flub up his words, something I'm familiar with as I do these things. And it kept recording, and Marty Smith, who's an ESPN personality, one of their top personalities, veteran reporter, sportscaster, happened to be walking by and really spoke words of encouragement to this young man, and told him how, what he was doing was like the hardest thing there is to do, and gave him some tips and some pointers, and really made him feel good. The video was still rolling, so you could see this young reporter's reaction. His name's Jack Patterson, and you could see what it meant to him for Marty Smith to take time out to do that. And it reminded me of a couple of stories. One, early in my career, I was working at a job trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my career post-college. And one of my coworkers had taken a class and paid some money to have somebody write a resume for him and teach him how to structure it and all these tips that would help the resume get read better. And a number of us were sitting around talking about it, and we were asking some questions and to kind of get some pointers as we were trying to figure out the best way to put together our resume. And he was very stingy about it. He was like, nope, I'm not telling you anything. I paid all the money for it. You guys didn't pay anything. Go figure it out on your own. And, yeah, we didn't. And I didn't feel like anybody was trying to, take advantage of him. We were just curious. We're all trying to figure out life at that point in our early 20s. And I was just really surprised by the guy's reaction. But he didn't share one tip, nothing with us. Another story, a couple years later when I'm living in Nashville, Tennessee, and I'm going to meet with a recruiter, and I'm walking down the hallway of this office building to the recruiter's office, and a couple of older gentlemen are coming down the hallway towards me, probably going out to lunch. I think it was around lunchtime, and they knew that I was going to the recruiting office. They could tell. I mean, I looked the part. It was right down the hallway, and all they said is they looked down and said, you're never going to get a job. Your shoes are too dirty. And they laughed and kept walking. And, I looked down and they probably were a little dirty. I was basically poor. I was scrounging and scrapping. And I just thought, what a jerk move. And so those stories stuck with me, just like how not to treat people. And when I saw this tweet today, it reminded me of it. And I'll finish with a story about my mom, who's been like my chief encourager my whole life, who has always done nothing but support me and encourage me to pursue whatever dream or wild idea that I had. Until I got to Service Express and really started to figure out, it ranged from a lot of things. And, my mom's basically a stock answer to anything I brought up was, you should do that. I think you'd be great at that. You should pursue that. She just was always like, go for it. Just such a strong encourager. And I try to remember that as a parent now, and how I want to be. And now that I'm further along in my career and a little bit more established, I remember those times when people discouraged me. And I really, want to look for those times to help reach out and encourage others. And I hope that you do as well. So that tweet that I saw today really reminded me of this. So I wanted to share it. And I hope everybody goes out and encourage others to pursue whatever they're doing, give them positive thoughts to go forward, and you just never know where they might end up.